Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another incredible journey into the world of rare Australian coins. Today, we are diving into a true numismatic treasure. First up, the Australian 50-cent coin from 1973 featuring Queen Elizabeth II, but with no mint mark. This coin is one that has fascinated collectors for decades and continues to surprise the market with its rising value. The 50-cent coin first gained attention in 1966 when it was struck in silver, but by 1969, Australia switched to the dodecagonal copper-nickel design we all recognize today. The 1973 issue is particularly fascinating because of its low mintage and its position in Australian history during the early years of decimal currency. This coin carries the proud portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on one side, designed by Arnold Machin. On the reverse, you'll see the Australian coat of arms, a national emblem that gives the coin an unmistakable identity. But what makes the 1973 edition stand out is not simply its design, it's the scarcity and collector demand surrounding it. The year 1973 was not a high-production year for Australia's 50-cent coin. In fact, only a relatively small number were struck compared to the later decades. And unlike many other coins, these pieces were released without a mint mark, making them harder to trace and even more desirable for those who love rare varieties. Collectors know that scarcity creates value. When a coin like the 1973 50 cent is combined with strong historical context and demand from international buyers, the results can be extraordinary. This is not just a coin, it's a piece of history that has survived in very limited numbers in fine condition. Over the years, prices for this coin have been steadily increasing. Decades ago, you might have been able to pick one up for just a few dollars. But today, serious collectors are willing to pay hundreds, and in some cases even thousands of dollars, for pristine, uncirculated examples of the 1973 50-cent coin. Now imagine finding one of these coins in top condition tucked away in your old collection, perhaps given to you by a parent or grandparent. What you might have thought was just another coin could turn out to be worth a significant amount of money. The beauty of this particular coin lies in its rarity. Many Australians have searched through their change and coin jars hoping to uncover one. And while some do, the majority will never come across it, making each discovery feel like striking gold. In terms of value, we have seen records of well-preserved 1973 50-cent coins selling for as much as $2,500 in private auctions. Depending on the grade, you could realistically expect anywhere from $800 for circulated examples to thousands for coins in superb mint state. Think about it. A single coin, originally worth just 50 cents in face value, now commanding thousands of dollars in the open market. That is the magic of numismatics and the power of collecting history in your hands. For those wondering why it has become so valuable, the answer is clear: limited supply, high demand, and the cultural significance of coins struck during Queen Elizabeth's reign. With her image now tied to history following her long service as monarch, these coins are even more cherished. Every year that passes adds to the desirability of the 1973 issue. As fewer pristine examples remain in circulation, the price is likely to continue climbing. Collectors across Australia, the United States, and Europe are all hunting for these coins, creating international competition. Another reason this coin carries prestige is the emotional connection. Coins like these remind us of Australia's transformation in the early 1970s, when decimalisation was still relatively new and the country was finding its place in modern global trade. So, is the 1973 Australian 50-cent Elizabeth coin without a mint mark valuable? Absolutely, without question. The numbers tell the story. Collectors are paying thousands, and the market shows no signs of slowing down. For sellers, the maximum you could achieve depends on condition. If you own one in uncirculated or proof-like state, the price could climb to around $2,500 or even close to $3,000 in the right marketplace. That is an incredible return for a coin that once sat quietly in circulation. If you are lucky enough to hold one of these treasures, take care of it. Store it in a protective holder, keep it away from scratches, and ensure it remains preserved for future generations. A coin like this not only carries monetary value, but also a story that connects you to Australia's history. Ladies and gentlemen, The 1973 Australian 50-cent Elizabeth coin is a shining reminder that rare finds still exist in the world of coins. It is proof that sometimes the smallest items can carry the biggest rewards. Keep your eyes open, search your collections, and who knows, you might just be holding a little fortune without even realizing it. Next up, the 1975 Australian 50-cent Elizabeth coin, without a mint mark, a piece that holds not just monetary worth but also a deep connection to the history of modern Australia. The Australian 50-cent coin first appeared in 1966, famously in silver, but due to the rising cost of silver it was soon replaced with the copper-nickel design that continues today. By 1975, Australia was already a decade into the decimal currency system, and each new issue carried the weight of building trust in this modern money. The 1975 edition is special for several reasons. It features the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, beautifully captured by Arnold Machin, one of the most iconic effigies used on coins across the Commonwealth. On the reverse side is the striking Australian coat of arms, with the kangaroo and emu standing guard, a design that makes this coin instantly recognizable. Now, what sets the 1975 50 cent apart is not only its age but also its scarcity when found in higher grades. Most of the coins from that year entered circulation and were heavily used, which means finding one in sharp, uncirculated condition is becoming more difficult with each passing year. This is exactly what fuels its increasing value in today's market. When we speak about rarity, we're not just talking about numbers struck. We are also talking about condition, survival rate, and collector demand. Many 1975 coins have wear and scratches, but the few that remain pristine are the ones that command the highest prices at auctions and private sales. Over time, this coin has proven its worth to collectors. At present, circulated examples can fetch respectable amounts, but uncirculated pieces are where the true potential lies. We have seen prices reach as high as $1,200 for stunning near-perfect examples. Even average condition coins can bring in $100 to $300, depending on the marketplace and the buyer's enthusiasm. What makes this coin so exciting is its future potential. As the years go by, the supply of clean, well-preserved 1975 50-cent coins will only decrease. That means prices are poised to rise further, as new generations of collectors join the hobby and seek out coins from Queen Elizabeth's era. Imagine holding onto one now and seeing its value double or triple in the coming years. It is not unrealistic to expect that a coin currently worth around $1,200 could climb to $3,000 or even more, especially if international demand continues to grow. Think of it this way: this coin started as a simple 50-cent piece used in everyday life. Yet today it has become a miniature treasure, a hidden gem that has the power to surprise anyone who takes the time to look through their coin jars or family collections. There is also a strong emotional factor that drives the price upward. Queen Elizabeth's reign, which spanned 7 decades, has ended, making coins featuring her image even more collectible. The 1975 issue captures her portrait during the height of her youth, adding historical charm. For sellers, the maximum you can realistically achieve depends on the quality of your coin. If you are lucky enough to own a crisp, untouched example, the current market suggests you could fetch close to $1,200, with rare sales climbing even higher in certain numismatic circles. And as for the future? Many experts believe the value could easily climb into the several $1,000s range. We may one day see this coin selling for $4,000 or $5,000 if it is kept in flawless condition and offered to the right buyer. The sky truly is the limit for pieces that combine rarity with history. It is also important to recognize that coins like this don't just rise in value because of collectors. They rise because they represent a slice of national heritage, a story of Australia's growth and identity during the 1970s. That historical bond ensures these coins will always attract attention. So yes, the 1975 Australian 50-cent Elizabeth coin without a mint mark is valuable. It has real worth now, and its future potential makes it one of the most exciting coins to watch. Every year adds another layer of desirability to this classic issue. If you are fortunate enough to own one, keep it safe. Place it in a protective holder, avoid handling it with bare fingers, and preserve its beauty for the decades to come. That small effort could be the key to unlocking thousands of dollars in the future. Next up, the 1979 Australian 50-cent Elizabeth coin without a mint mark. A coin that has fascinated collectors for years, and one that continues to gain recognition for its beauty, its history, and its ever-growing value in the world of numismatics. The story of the Australian 50-cent coin begins back in 1966 when the country introduced decimal currency. The earliest version was made of silver, but quickly replaced due to the rising cost of the metal. By the time we reach 1979, the 50-cent piece had already established itself as one of the most recognizable and trusted coins in Australia's currency system. The coin proudly features the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, sculpted by Arnold McKim, which remained on Australian coins throughout the 1970s. This portrait captured her youthful elegance and became one of the most widely used images of the Queen across the Commonwealth. The reverse side carries the Australian coat of arms, with the kangaroo and emu standing tall as symbols of strength and national pride. The 1979 issue holds its significance because of its place in the timeline of Australian history. It was struck during a period when the country was continuing to stabilize its decimal system and expanding its presence in the international market. Coins from this year carry no mint mark, making them part of the main circulation, and yet, they have grown more and more desirable over time. Collectors want the 1979 coin because it represents a slice of late 1970s Australia. The demand is not only within the country but also worldwide, as international collectors search for pieces from Queen Elizabeth's reign. Thousands of people around the world are looking to add this coin to their personal collection, and the number is only growing as interest in Australian currency increases. As for its value, the 1979 50-cent coin can bring in impressive prices, depending on condition. Circulated pieces can sell for around $80 to $150, while well-preserved examples can fetch significantly more. Uncirculated or mint-state coins have been known to sell for as high as $1,000 to $1,500 in certain auctions and collector circles. That means if you have one sitting at home in excellent condition, you could be holding on to something much more than pocket change. It could be a collector's dream and a key to future profit. The market has shown again and again that coins like this only increase in value as time passes. What makes the 1979 coin even more valuable is its survival rate. Many of these coins were heavily circulated, which means that truly sharp and untouched examples are becoming harder to find. This scarcity directly drives up the demand and the price collectors are willing to pay. Think of it like this. A coin worth 50 cents at the time of its release is now worth hundreds, and in top grade even thousands. That is a story of growth and value that continues to inspire collectors around the world. Another reason the coin is so valuable is its historical context. The late 1970s was a time of transformation in Australia, and the coin reflects that moment in history. Every time someone holds a 1979 50-cent piece, they are holding a small piece of the past, a token of the era when Australia was stepping firmly into its future with decimal currency. Many people often ask if the value is high or low. The truth is, the value is strong today, and it has plenty of room to grow higher in the future. The maximum prices we see now, around $1,500, could very well rise to $3,000 or even more in the coming decades. This coin is not just wanted by a few collectors. It has a wide base of interest. Thousands of buyers, both in Australia and internationally, are on the lookout for coins like this, particularly ones in pristine condition. That demand ensures that the coin will remain valuable for years to come. If you are lucky enough to own one, treat it as a treasure. Keep it safe, protect it from scratches, and consider having it professionally graded. Doing so could turn your coin into an even more valuable investment, one that grows year after year. The potential for the 1979 50-cent coin is enormous. What is today a few hundred or a few $1,000s could tomorrow become a much greater prize as the rarity increases and collectors compete with one another for the best examples. So when you think about whether this coin is valuable, the answer is a resounding yes. It is valuable now, it has been valuable in the past, and it will continue to grow in value in the future. That is what makes it such an exciting piece of Australian history. Ladies and gentlemen, the 1979 Australian 50-cent Elizabeth coin without a mint mark is more than just a piece of metal. It is history, it is art, and it is opportunity. Keep your eyes open, because what you think is just change could turn out to be a fortune waiting to be discovered. Hold on to it, believe in its worth, and let this coin remind you that sometimes the smallest treasures carry the greatest rewards. Next up, the 1980 Australian 50-cent Elizabeth coin, without a mint mark. A coin that may look ordinary to some but hides a history and a value that continues to grow as time goes by. The 50-cent piece has been part of Australian life since decimalisation in 1966, and by 1980 it had already become one of the most familiar coins in circulation. That year, Australia was moving through a period of economic change, and the coin played its part in daily transactions across the nation. On the obverse side of this coin, we find the elegant portrait of Queen Elizabeth II designed by Arnold Machin. This effigy, used throughout the 1970s and into the early 1980s, shows the Queen wearing the royal tiara, a symbol of her authority and grace. The reverse side is decorated with the national coat of arms, a timeless design that represents Australia's unity and heritage. While millions of coins were produced during that year, the value of the 1980 50-cent Elizabeth coin comes not from being common, but from condition, desirability, and collector demand. Those without mint marks are part of the main circulation, yet in uncirculated or near-perfect condition, they are highly prized by coin collectors. The history of this coin is tied not only to Australia's currency system but also to Queen Elizabeth's reign. Every issue from this period has become a memory of her long service and a marker of the time when Australia was strengthening its place in the global economy. That connection adds weight to its value. Now you may wonder, where can you buy a coin like this? The good news is that these coins are often available in collector markets, online auction platforms, and through numismatic dealers. Many enthusiasts also find them in family collections or inherit them from relatives who put them aside decades ago. And what about selling? If you hold a 1980 50-cent coin in excellent condition, you can sell it at auction houses, coin shops, or through collector groups. In today's market, circulated examples may sell from $50 to $150, but pristine, uncirculated pieces can fetch much higher prices, sometimes reaching $800 to $1,500 depending on the grade. The question many people ask is whether it is worth keeping. The answer is absolutely yes. This coin is not only valuable now but has the potential to grow even more valuable in the future. With every passing year, the number of untouched coins from 1980 decreases, and that scarcity fuels demand. If you are serious about maximizing its value, sealing or properly storing your coin is the best choice. A coin in a protective holder, untouched by scratches or fingerprints, can command far higher prices than one left loose and unprotected. In fact, a coin kept in mint state could easily double or triple in value over time. Think about it for a moment. A coin that once carried a face value of just 50 cents can now bring in hundreds or even thousands of dollars. That is the power of numismatics, the transformation of ordinary currency into extraordinary treasures. And when it comes to motivation, remember this: collectors worldwide are constantly searching for coins like the 1980 50-cent piece. They want to complete their sets, they want to preserve history, and they are willing to pay strong prices to secure coins that are well kept. The beauty of this coin lies not only in its metal but in its story. It represents Australia in the year 1980, a time of growth, change, and stability. Holding one connects you to that era, making it far more than just currency. It is a fragment of living history. Over time, as Queen Elizabeth's coins gain even more historical importance, the demand for 1980 issues will only grow. It is entirely possible that values we see today, $1, $500 at the high end, could climb to $3,000 or more in the years ahead, especially for coins sealed and preserved in perfect condition. So should you keep it? Should you seal it? Without a doubt. Protecting your coin today means unlocking its maximum price tomorrow. Every serious collector knows that preservation is the key to turning a good find into a great investment. Ladies and gentlemen, The 1980 Australian 50-cent Elizabeth coin without a mint mark is a coin of true value. It is history in your hand, it is money that has multiplied in worth, and it is a treasure that can continue to grow in the years ahead. If you have one, do not underestimate it. Hold on to it, protect it, and believe in its potential. Because what seems like a small coin today could one day surprise you with a return far greater than you imagined. And that is the magic of collecting. The moment when history, rarity, and passion come together to create something priceless. Next up, the 1981 Australian 50-cent coin featuring Queen Elizabeth II, without a mint mark. This coin is far more than just a piece of change. It carries history, artistry, and value that continues to grow in the eyes of collectors around the world. The 50-cent piece had already become a cornerstone of Australian currency by 1981. Decimalisation had been in place for 15 years, and coins like this were in everyday use across the nation. Yet among the millions produced, certain examples stand out and capture the imagination of collectors who understand their worth. On the obverse, we see the elegant portrait of Queen Elizabeth II designed by Arnold Machin. This image of the Queen, with her regal tiara, became one of the most recognizable portraits in Commonwealth coinage and gave coins from this era a strong identity. The reverse, as always, displays the Australian coat of arms, guarded by the kangaroo and emu, symbols of national pride. The 1981 issue carries historical importance as it reflects Australia's stability during a decade of change and growth. Coins struck during this time represent not just money, but a reflection of the society, culture, and economy of the early 1980s. Now, why is the 1981 50-cent coin valuable? The answer lies in a combination of factors: demand, condition, and history. While it was made for circulation, the survival of well-preserved examples is far lower than the original mintage suggests. Collectors want coins that shine, coins that have not been worn by years of handling, and that is what makes high-grade 1981 coins so desirable. Over the years, this coin has caught the attention of both Australian and international buyers. The interest is not limited to one country. Collectors from the United States, the United Kingdom, and Asia are also eager to secure pieces from Queen Elizabeth's reign. That wide demand fuels competition, and competition always increases value. At present, circulated examples of the 1981 50-cent coin can be sold for $50 to $120 depending on quality. However, uncirculated coins, those that look as fresh as the day they were struck, are commanding far stronger prices. In auctions and private sales, these coins can reach $900 to $1,500, and in some cases even higher when perfectly graded. Think about it. A coin that once had a face value of 50 cents now carries the potential to bring in thousands. That is the power of numismatics. History and rarity transform something ordinary into something extraordinary. Another reason this coin is valuable is the emotional connection collectors feel to it. Coins are more than metal. They represent moments in time, and the 1981 issue connects us to an Australia that was modernizing, expanding, and building its national identity in the early years of the 1980s. So, is it really that valuable? Absolutely. Time has already proven that coins like this gain strength in the collector market as they age. The maximum value one could expect today for a superb uncirculated 1981 50-cent coin is around $1,500, with the potential to climb toward $2,000 or $3,000 in the coming years as rarity grows. The beauty of collecting is that these values are not fixed. They rise as interest rises. Every year, more collectors enter the hobby, and every year, the supply of flawless coins becomes smaller. That constant push and pull means coins like the 1981 50 cent will only gain prestige. If you own one, keeping it safe is the key to unlocking its full worth. A coin left loose in a drawer can lose value quickly, but one sealed in a protective holder or professionally graded will maintain its brilliance and command top prices in the market. This is why serious collectors and investors alike look at the 1981 50-cent coin not only as a piece of history but as a true asset. It has already proven itself valuable, and it is expected to continue growing in price for many years ahead. Ladies and gentlemen, This coin is a reminder that treasures are often closer than we think. The 1981 Australian 50-cent Elizabeth coin without a mint mark is not just currency. It is a piece of national pride, a collectible of rising value, and an opportunity for those who recognize its worth. So if you find one in your collection, do not underestimate it. Protect it, cherish it, and understand that what you hold in your hands is not just 50 cents. It could be a small fortune waiting to reward your patience and care. And that, my friends, is the true magic of rare coins, ordinary money transformed into extraordinary history and value.